This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss level patrons, Christopher and Patrick.
Guys, I seriously cannot wait for this hunt.
Seriously, I am super stoked.
Yeah, for real. I'm going to lose my mind if we find it.
Yeah, even if we just get a blurry picture, I'll be happy.
Uh-huh. Wait, what? A picture?
Yeah, like the classic Squatch picture, you know, like where he's looking back at the camera. What if we get a cool picture like that?
Squatch? Like Sasquatch? You think we're going on a Bigfoot hunt?
Are we not?
No, dude, we're hunting for buried treasure. How did you think we were hunting for Bigfoot?
Look, jerk. I heard hunt and I just assumed.
Bigfoot.
Squatch, but yeah.
To be fair, even if you'd said treasure hunt, Jackson would still have thought you were talking about a Sasquatch hunt.
Because what's a greater treasure than America's last great land ape?
Not that I really want to know, but land ape? Are there sea apes?
Oh, don't get him started on Ape-lantis, Peterson.
Shh. You guys are gonna spook it.
Spook what?
Welcome to the 3 Squatch Gamer Squatch. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
I'm Jackson.
And we're here to hunt Sasquatches this week. No, real talk. Did you see that treasure was the fen treasure was dug up or found like today?
Yeah, it was like $1 million treasure chest or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, this guy named Forrest Fenn hit a treasure chest like 20 years ago. 4 people have died looking for it. It's in the Rocky Mountains somewhere, and he just had a poem. And someone found it finally, and it made me sad because I wanted to find Forrest Fenn's treasure. To be fair, I did absolutely nothing to look for it.
But I did want to find it.
But I still wanted to find it. I don't think that's that unreasonable that I shouldn't find something I'm totally not even trying to make an effort to look for.
Yeah, you want it more, so you get it.
That's how it works, I think. All right.
I get what I want.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. I feel like we have a celebrity on. We have Jackson, the news laugher, is actually on
giggle.
this time. Yeah, the
Chuckle.
news giggle. Our news segment this week, as with all weeks, is brought to you by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies is this awesome little cookie shop here in Midvale, Utah. You can find them on DoorDash and a lot of the other delivery services, or you can just go because they have a drive-thru, so you don't even have to go in, and they have contactless ordering through their drive-thru, which is awesome. And if that didn't convince you, how about this? They have a Pop-Tart cookie right now. And did
Say that again?
A Pop-Tart cookie. This is a cookie.
One more time.
A Pop-Tart cookie you can have warm or cold, just like a good Pop-Tart. Raspberry filling, a sweet glaze. Oh my God, you guys have to see this thing. You can go to cravecookies.com, look at this Pop-Tart cookie, and good luck not ordering it. They also have the mega stuffed cookies and cream Oreo cookie back this week, and the rock stars. So check them out, cravecookies.com. They paid for it. They paid for the spot, you guys.
Money well spent.
Okay. Money well spent, honestly. Okay. So our first news piece, this one's pretty funny. Fallout 76 has legally found to be a failure by the Australian government. So this was a lawsuit that was levied against EB Games. If you guys, some people had EB Games instead of GameStop, I think. And I think that's a pretty big retailer in Australia. And EB Games got sued for false advertising, essentially, for false advertising Fallout 76. And that's how bad. And it was found in their favor. So that is how bad Fallout 76 is that the Australian government had to step in and say, Yeah, y'all lied. That was not what was promised.
Dude, it's such a a slap in the face to be legally found a failure. Like by definition, by legal definition, you are a failure. That
In
is
there.
rough.
Been there.
It's
Dude,
called bankruptcy.
I can't even imagine. And imagine all the people that were like have been whining on forums about how bad Fallout 76 is and how betrayed they felt. Like the guys that were ranting about
just
No
like if you
Man's
listen to
Sky.
this podcast.
Huh?
Or if you just listen to this podcast
Yeah.
and listen to you rant about it.
Yeah, exactly. I finally feel vindicated by the Australian government. So thanks guys. And I have to say, dude, Bethesda, they're in for it. I feel like they have burned all of their goodwill and then some on Fallout 76. And if Elder Scrolls 6 is anything shy of 10 times better than Skyrim, dude, they're in trouble because they don't have like a fallback after that. If they blow it on Elder Scrolls 6, like I don't know where that leaves them.
Nope, they're done.
Okay, here's another one. This is so Take-Two. This is the guys that publish and own Rockstar and 2K and a lot of other game studios. Take-Two has canceled the contract. They canceled the contract for Kerbal Space Program 2. And then the staff, and then they tried to turn around and poach the staff from KSP on LinkedIn. So basically, there were negotiations with the guys that were working on Kerbal Space Program 2 and Take-Two, and they broke down, and Take-Two just went with the ultimate power play, which is, okay, no contract, and we're going to steal all of your employees who
Dude.
just learned that you lost your contract. And so it's like, gun to your head, hey, do you want this job?
Dude, that's a power play if I ever saw one. They are straight up trying to put someone out of business.
Dude, this is the problem with giant game studios is like they're incentivized to do this. And I mean, they're following the best interests of their shareholders, and I can't necessarily blame them. I mean, but at the same time,
it's just mean.
It's
Guys,
pretty mean.
That was mean.
So I looked into this, and I actually came up with a interesting tidbit. I did not know this, but Kerbal Space Program was originally developed and published, not published, but it was developed, and then they later found a publisher by a Mexican digital marketing company. And they had an employee who I guess was like an engineer or like really good at his job. Probably if he could design KSP by himself, he was pretty good at his job. And he was like, hey guys, I'm going to quit to go work on this video game. And they're like, no, you can't quit. We will pay you to work here and make your video game. Just don't quit. And so this marketing company developed this amazing game, and it took off at different like indie game developer conferences and eventually got picked up and published. And so it was this giant influx of capital that they were definitely not expecting. But in a fun twist of events, they just used all the money, the windfall, to just do more marketing stuff and didn't really focus on the game side. And then they sold KSP, and now they just are kind of a little marketing company. And I'm just like,
but what a ride it was.
What a weird ride it was. I just wonder how many Kerbal Space Programs are just out there lurking in people's brains that if their employer was like, yeah, you just make it, just go make it, that they'd be like, they'd go just make an incredible game. So guys, if anyone ever tells you, if you're a business manager and someone comes to you and asks to quit so they can go work on a video game, don't let them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make an amazing game.
Well, it's probably going to be a sucky game, but it's like roll those dice. You know what I mean? Do you want to make a ton of money off of someone else's video game? Or
Do you want to be Blockbuster or do you want to be Netflix?
Yeah, dude. That's the thing, is like so many
1995. Can I be that?
Ugh.
Take me back.
Yeah, take me. That's what All right, and our last story. This is pretty funny. The Activision, a group of Activision Blizzard shareholders are upset over CEO Bobby Kotick's compensation package, which is in the excess of like $100 million.
Dude, no, he's earned it.
deal.
He is
Big
killing it
deal.
over there. He is
Yeah,
doing
which is their
great
argument. Is that
Name one bad thing you've heard about Blizzard lately.
name one bad thing that Bobby Kotick has done. So yeah, that's their argument, is that he increased during his tenure, they increased the Activision market cap from $10 million to $53 billion. And I don't know, dude. This is like overfeeding a pig and then acting horrified when it eats a piglet, and you're like, oh my god. But you really stuffed that pig.
Stop.
It's like that scene in Silence of the Lambs, and he's that pig that eats Mason Verger. Like, that's Bobby Kotick. He's just a greedy little piggy. But you know what I realized when I was reading this article is that this guy is just like the rest of us. He's on a grind right now. I'm on a grind. I'm grinding an RPG right now and working on getting my experience up. And I'll tell you, I looked at his net worth online. His net worth is $600 million. You know what that looks like to me? Pretty close to $1 billion. He's grinding for $1 billion. That's all he's doing.
Got to get that B.
He's got to get that B. He wants to be in that triple comma club. And he's like, look, if I can clear a cool 100 mil over the next 4 years, man, I am so much closer to $1 billion. He doesn't matter. He doesn't use that money. He's not spending it. He just wants it. And he's going to get it. So, yeah, look forward to more.
He deserves it.
Oh, by the way, $100 million over 4 years. I'm sorry. I'm not like a video game business guy, but I'm pretty sure that could pay for the development of at least one more video game. Like, and then some. The fact that this guy is like stuffing money into his pockets that are already overflowing with money, and he's just like can't stop stuffing money into his pockets while they are shuttering games and closing game studios and turning off support for like HOTS and things like that. And they're like, oh no, it's fine. Just keep letting little Bobby Piggy stuff money into his piggy little pockets because he's got to get that $1 billion. I can't do it.
Oh, man. Freaking way to go, Bobby. You really pulled one over on us.
Yeah, dude. Let me know when you get to that $1 billion. Let me know if it makes you feel any less empty inside.
Kudos.
All right. Good call, Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm rich. All right. Kudos is our positivity segment, and I need to bring my mood back up. So I'm going to talk about World of Dance. You guys, World of Dance on Hulu is the sickest show ever. And apparently I am a dumb jackass because it is in its 4th season.
Yeah.
And rude. It is in its 4th season, and I have just barely discovered this show. There's only 2 episodes on Hulu, season 4. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a dance competition. It's American Idol with dancers.
So you think you can dance?
Is that how it? Okay, so you think you can dance have like big dance troops and then small like individual dancers and then dancers?
It's just single people.
Yes.
There was that one on MTV had teams, but I forget what it was called.
So this is dope because you can have teams, or you can go solo, or you can be in duos. And there's people doing salsa dance. There's people doing like trippy Icelandic dances. Like it's aptly named World of Dance. It's just anything goes. Like they had the dancers that danced with J-Lo at the Super Bowl. There was like some kids in there. They had like a Native American dance group. Dude, they just have everything, and it is so sick. The judges, it's like J-Lo and then these 2 dudes that are pretty annoying. But
thanks.
Honestly,
those 2 guys. Dude.
Yeah, honestly, dude. Here's the worst part. You know that video I sent you? I posted this in our Discord. If you guys aren't in our Discord, you can find it. You can just search for 3-Bit Gamer Show. But you can hear them like.
Do you not know who Derek Huff and Neo are?
Who the fuck are those? Are you being serious right now?
Yeah. Neo, like the musical artist,
Mio?
Neo, N-E with an N, like in.
No,
I
I have
don't-
no idea who Neo is.
Yeah, dude. Peterson used to have the CD sleeves tucked into his binder in high school for Neo.
Wait,
No, dude, I'm
and
like
then you
looking
know
at
who
his
Derek
singles.
Huff is?
Eric Huff?
Oh my gosh.
Derek Huff?
You sound
Hold
so
on.
stupid.
Well, you're going to really be mad at how I spelled his name when I Googled him because it was Huff. and Google was like, did you mean Derek who? Okay, Derek Huff. The other guy, Neo's all right. Derek Huff is so fucking obnoxious because he just has to offer his commentary. You're watching these dope dances, and he's like, tight. Whoa, yeah. And he's just being way fucking obnoxious. But the dances are super cool. I think it's a good background show. It's like American Idol. Like the stuff going in between the dances is like kind of meh. But what I'm really into it is that what I'm really stoked about is that they're just doing the auditions right now. And for example, when I watched American Idol, that's all I watched because I just wanted to watch William Hungs and those types of people just be silly. And then I would just tune out. I'd be like, meh, I don't care. But World of Dance, I'm like, once the show actually starts, once they're through auditions, I think it's going to get even better because the dances are so cool. Anyway, I would just watch. I would check out the clip in our Discord that I shared, and if you're into that, you'll be into the show. If not, I don't know what's wrong with you because it is so cool. Anyway, World of Dance, it's on Hulu, and I haven't been able to find the first 3 seasons anywhere else, but I'll look for them. Does anyone else have any kudos?
I don't really have a kudos, but I did want to just say one because I honestly it's kind of been kind of a crazy week. But one thing that has been really great this week for me, is I've been taking the time out this week to cook new things. And if you're on our Discord, you've seen that I've been trying some new stuff. So I guess that's my kudos. Look, we have all got a little bit more time now. We're not going out as much. Try some new recipes because I have made some really dope stuff this last 2 weeks. I've made some stuff that didn't turn out as good, but I've tried new things. I made gnocchi from scratch. I made udon noodles from scratch. And it was really fun. Turned out really great. So, I don't really have a kudos, but more of a recommendation. Get in there and cook something.
You kind of sounds like you have a kudos.
Kind of sounds like you gave yourself kudos and just went a real long roundabout way to do it.
No.
That's exactly what
like that was Steph, the longest self kudos, non-self kudos ever.
Wait. So I want to give the kudos to me. John
you gave
Peterson.
Kudos to something you did. You gave yourself kudos.
You are the last person to acknowledge that is what that whole thing was about.
Guys, you just didn't let me get to it. Well done, Peterson. You really went above and beyond this week.
I made really good noodles. You guys should do what I did because it was great, and I'm awesome.
You wish
All right,
you could
let's
do
move
what
on.
I did.
All right, we have not done Love It, Leave It for a minute. Love It, Leave It is our segment where we talk about things that we love about a certain aspect of video games and then things that we don't love or the things that we would leave. And this week, because apparently Jackson is just as hooked on Civ 6 as Peterson is, we are going to do Love It, Leave It turn-based gameplay.
Hook it to my veins.
That's all I've been playing lately, honestly. It's just turn-based stuff. I still count Frostpunk as kind of turn-based because you're like doing things and then unpausing and executing them.
There's just no one else. It's always your turn. There's just no one else's turn.
It's either my turn or paused, and then my turn again. That's how it works.
I see. We're learning a lot about JD right now.
So who's got a love? What do one of you guys love about turn-based gameplay?
I'll go. I think they're very approachable. Like
Hmm.
a lot of them are pretty straightforward, especially like with the way that Civilization is set up for this new
Mhm.
one. You can literally just like listen to your advisor the whole time, and that's how you can learn how to play.
Dude, that's pretty
So
dope.
yeah, I think they're pretty approachable. And a lot of people have played board games before. It's a lot like board games.
Yeah,
Um,
I was going to jump in and say that is I haven't thought about it that way, but that's absolutely true. So I was playing Civ 6, I played through it, and then it made me want to step it up a little bit, turn it up a notch, and then I played Total War Warhammer 2, which is like the extreme version of Civ 6 almost. It's a little bit more it's a little more hardcore, a little bit more to it. And yeah, same type of
Is
thing.
this another self kudos?
No.
This is another self kudos.
So
what it
I
was
did a
building
great
towards.
job. I did a really great job in my
I'm so hardcore.
Jackson's playing the baby game. I'm playing no. So but the tutorial advisor was, even in this game, up in the corner and like reminding me, because I haven't played it in over a year, reminding me how to play it. And yeah, I relearned how to play the game because I had that advisor telling me exactly what to do and how to do it.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things is that I can come into these games that, yeah, Jackson, you bring up a good point because I'm jumping into new games all the time, but that's absolutely true that the turn-based games I'm jumping into are the most welcoming and the easiest to pick up. Peterson, give us a leave it.
Oh, yeah. When you're playing a turn-based game, not like JD's, but there's actually an opponent that takes a turn. And when they do something to skip your turn, or like they'll stun one of your characters or freeze something and you don't get to do it, like this happens a lot in like JRPGs where you've got 3 characters or something and you pick what each of them are going to do on your turn, then they do it, and then the other team goes. And when one of your guys gets skipped, it's like playing whatever like a phase 10 or Uno or something, and someone skips you and you're like, are you kidding me?
Don't bring up phase 10.
You bastard,
Do not
skip
bring
me?
up phase 10.
I get so
I will
annoyed.
hold this grudge honestly for the next 10 years. If you skip me in
Absolutely.
phase 10, I will freak out. Dude, I have not considered that, but I just realized that I have never been, there's no moves in Monster Sanctuary, I think, or even Pokemon that skip somebody. But that is infuriating when that happens.
Yep.
Maybe that's why they don't use it, because they know how mad I'll get. Kind of a continuation on Jackson's. My love it is I like that there's generally I like it when there's no timer, because it contributes to the overall thing that I love about turn-based games is that there's like very limited stress. And so Jackson's like, it's easy to get into. I feel like it's easy to get into, and it's easy to just like keep playing, because without that like stressful aspect of being like, oh, I have to do things right now, or I have to do things just right because there's bullets coming or guys trying to kill me, being able to like kind of take my time slowly makes games so much more enjoyable for me.
Yep. That was my number one love it, is that you have time to strategize, time to think. It's not like an RTS where, especially in RTS, you can't pause, where it's like clicking, go, 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 go. They're attacking you. Oh, crap. I didn't build any units because I'm focused on my attack over here. It's it kind of gives you that time to step back and think about what your strategy is on your turn. Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need that because your instinct initially wouldn't win you the match or win you the fight or whatever. And then you think it out, you kind of piece it out. This has happened to me loads of times in Slay the Spire. When I piece it out and I add all the numbers together and I'm like, oh, I can win this fight right now.
I can win this. Yeah.
But I wouldn't have if I would have just gone for it, what I initially wanted to do.
Dude, absolutely. And that's I get like some people are way into it. Like some people, I think was it the Lees that I played Age of Empires with, and they just
Yeah.
like trounced me, and I was like, "What are you guys? You guys are playing too fast. Slow down." I've been playing that game for 20 years, and I just never bothered to like get good at playing it quickly and stuff. And I know that there's an aspect. Oh, and Phil also plays FTL without pausing it.
I think that was
Manning Bros.
Skylar. Skylar did.
Oh,
it.
was it Skylar? Yeah, he
Mhm.
plays it without pausing it, and I'm like, what the F? And then I know that the Frostpunk on the hardest difficulty, there is no pausing, and it's
Oh my
everything's
gosh.
just going. And so, yeah, people like to play like that, but that is so not my style. That is the farthest thing from my style. So having a turn-based thing where you just have, time to think and stuff, so much better.
Yeah. The battles in Total War are like real time, and you're like moving your armies and like positioning them, but you can pause it and you can speed it up or slow it down. And I pause it all the time. Otherwise, I would lose track of some of my units. I don't know where they are because I've sent them off to chase somebody who ran away. So yeah, that pause function is critical for me.
I just laugh at speeding up. I'm like, who uses this shit? Yeah, right. Speed up. Okay, Jackson, what is a leave it for you? Is that what we're on? Jackson, leave it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This could go both ways, but a lot of times it's a leave it. These can be very long games, and at the end you can win nothing. It's like, oh, you lose.
Yep.
Like you either win everything or nothing good happens to you. Like, for example, right, we're all playing Civilization. It's a 500 turn game.
Oh my God.
And you're playing with like 8 other players. You either win or you don't.
Yep.
So you're probably not going to win.
I'm
You
not.
just sank like hours into the game.
Yes, especially those like strategy simulation types of games, like Civilization, like Total War. Yeah, they go forever. I had a Total War campaign that I was almost 100 hours into, and I don't even think I was close to winning. Like, it was really bad. So yeah, that can be rough. Unless you absolutely are obsessed and loving the game. Like when I played Battletech, it was a turn-based game, and by the end of it, I was 30, 40 hours in, I think, and I wanted more. I wanted more of that story. I wanted more of my group. I wanted to keep going. So yeah, it can go either way. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, sometimes it just sucks when you're like 280 turns in and you're like, all right, I'm more than halfway, and this is going very poorly.
Guys, that is so many
And then
turns. I had no idea that's how Civ worked.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so many.
Surprise. You can make it shorter if you want.
I would probably start out a little shorter. Peterson, what's another love it for you?
So love it for me is that these types of games feel like games. They are gamey games. It feels like you're playing a board game, because a lot of like the real-time action games, it feels like if it's good, you feel like you're playing a movie and you're sucked into it. That's not what you're going for when you play like a turn-based game. You're not going to get sucked into it and like, imagining that you're in this crazy world. It feels more like a game. You're playing a game. You're thinking about it like it's a game. And sometimes I want that. Sometimes because it feels less stressful for me when it feels like a game rather than like a situation or scenario I've put myself into, and I'm like sucked into it and loving the story, and it's stressful. Sometimes I don't want that. Sometimes I just want to play and have fun,
Yeah. So my leave it, I've got to leave it, is in these games, turn-based games, a lot of the times to break up kind of the boringness of what is essentially just selecting a button from a menu and clicking it over and over again, there are animations. I don't know, are there animations in Civ? Like if you choose to like attack, like bombs go off?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can watch them drop a nuke on people. It's pretty
That's
sick.
pretty tight.
You can have
All right, easy there.
in the expansion. You can have a
Freaking Kim Jong over
one
here.
of the expansions.
What can you do in the expansion? Drop zombies?
No, you can build giant death robots.
What?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so and then
And
in like Pokemon, it shows there's like or Monster Sanctuary what I'm playing right now, or Slay the Spire. It's like every time you select an action, whether it's an attack or like a shield, the character does that. So my leave it is when those animations are too long or super boring. Like if it's the same thing over and over again, like that was one of the things the new Pokemon game on Switch got bounced on was these super boring animations where the Pokemon would just like move slightly back and forth and that was like their attack. And it's like, ugh. And then in Monster Sanctuary, there's some attack animations that are so long that I'm like, guys, are you I can't just sit here and watch all these things go off because I select my attacks and then I have to watch the enemy go through some crazy dance for like 5 minutes. So that's my leave it is when their animations are either boring or repetitive. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to watch this again. Every battle for the rest of the game.
If it's one of those games where you have like multiple troops or whatever that have to move per turn, but only one group can move at a time. So it's just like, okay, this dude has to move all the way across the map, and then we have to wait for number 2, and you just have to wait forever.
Just watching them march slowly.
Just watching them.
Dude,
nope.
Just watching them all drop nukes.
JD,
everybody drop nukes.
We're on the same page because that is my number 3 of my leave-its. And it comes from a lot of those JRPG style where it's, you know, your team on one side, the other team on the other side. Yes, Pokemon was the worst of it, but they're all pretty guilty of this where you are selecting the same attack over and over and you have to watch the animation over and over. Or if there's an option to skip the animations, sometimes you can't tell what's happening because the animations are like critical. And so, but I hate it when they're long and when I say long, I mean 2 to 3 seconds is too long on an animation for these because you're watching it 1,000 times.
Yes.
Yep. And on Civ, it drove me crazy because when you get to like the when you start to have like jets and stuff, I had aircraft carrier and I would attack a city that was a little bit inland. My plane would take off from the carrier, fly over, bomb it, loop back around, and land. And I'm not kidding. I bet that
you had to watch it all
8 to 10 seconds. And you're like, just do it.
And if you're like super stocked up, you could have like 12 jets.
Dude,
it's just like a couple minutes.
Are you serious? That's when you use fast forward because you're having to fast forward through stupid animations. That's insane.
Yep.
Peterson, you have a love it now, right?
Yes. So one of my favorite things when I go into these turn-based games, especially again like the JRPG style, is when you find your crew. Right? You find your team, you find your group, you find your bunch that's going to have some synergy, and it just works. And all of a sudden, you feel really powerful. I love that because it usually takes a minute to get there. You know, of trying out a couple different things, trying out a few guys, or you'll stick with like the original squad because it's what you know. But then when you find that synergistic squad, it feels so good. I love it.
That is absolutely been my favorite part of Monster Sanctuary. In Pokemon, I get super attached to my Pokemon, and I'm like, ugh, it's really hard to make that call. Monster Sanctuary is this really amazing mechanic where you can choose your companion monster, the one that runs around behind you, and it can be any monster. You can have all your monsters all the same time. Like at Pokemon, you have to go like put them away in a box, and you can only have like 6 at a time.
Yep.
But in Monster Sanctuary, you never have to put your monsters away, so it never feels like you're getting rid of them necessarily. But the best part is being how often I swap out monsters. I've never played a game like this, any RPG like this, where I have swapped out my characters or my monsters or my Pokemon or whatever you want to call them, where I've swapped them out so frequently. And it's just because it helps, and it's really easy to like help you find that synergy So you're always tweaking and playing with it, and it's just been a blast. So yeah, I love that stuff. Do you guys want to do one last round? Does that work?
Yeah, does it just if you have one? Because I know we've kind of doubled up, like you've said some of mine. So
Yeah.
Jackson, do you have any more?
I mean, all I was going to say is that there's just, in these games, there's so many different ways that you can play them that it's pretty cool. You can take different routes and
Yes.
different stuff like
If
that.
it's a good game, then the strategy is up in the air, right? There's different ways to win.
Right.
There's different combination teams you can do. There's, different methods you can use. And that's what makes these games
Right.
replayable. And that's what makes the good ones so good, right?
This was one of my big points that I want to talk about is when there's more strategy than just selecting an attack. Because unfortunately, it is a kid's game. And so like it's hard to critique Pokemon, but that's all it is really, is like just selecting attacks. Like you can just grind through that game just mashing A basically the whole effing time. There's not that much strategy. But when games have, like, I think of Slay the Spire, Peterson, in terms of like having a vast amount of strategy that like starts the very, very first decision in the whole game and it carries through all the way to the end. Like I just love having an extra strategy. And then on the way out, the one thing that I adore and I think it's good they do a good job of it in Slay the Spire. They do a pretty good job of it in Monster Sanctuary, but clarity on the damage or the health or the armor or the poison that you'll deal or receive. So if you're going to be selecting an attack, that's the best part of Slay the Spire. That I've talked about it before, that game has some of the best UI I've ever seen in a video game, the most thoughtful, user-focused interface I've ever seen. But the fact that when you highlight an attack and then you hover over an enemy, it gives you the different, like it changes and shows you exactly how much damage you'll do to that enemy. So there's no guesswork. There's no sitting there with a calculator or trying to do the math in your head of exactly what it's going to add up to. That clarity and showing, I mean, and it goes, it's just beyond just like the attacks and stuff. But I just love knowing exactly what I'm going to do because it helps me.
Yeah, dude, when Slay the Spire when I first started playing it, it did not have that. So the numbers wouldn't change based on, like if an enemy has like a vulnerable on them or something like that. It wouldn't change the numbers. And then he added that in a patch. It's brilliant, right? You're absolutely correct. The UI on Slay the Spire is second to none. It's fantastic. You never have a question of like, what's going to happen. It'll like have terminology on a card, and if you hover over it, it'll explain that to you.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's never
wonderful.
I hope this works. I hope this kills him. I don't know. Like you always know. And for a strategy based game, luck is kind of fun sometimes, but like Monster Sanctuary, there's so much dependent on the crit damage that it's like you could never have those numbers be accurate. But I really like knowing exactly how much damage I'm doing every single time. It's helpful. Do you have any more, Peterson?
I have one more leave it, and this one is one that really drives me nuts. In these strategy games, when you misclick and you can't undo your action. Dude, Jackson, tell me how annoying that is in Civ 6.
So bad.
Did you send a guy running and you're like, no, that was an accident. Can't stop it. Can't go back. It's like, it's done. And sometimes it'll really mess up part of your strategy for like the next couple turns, right? But dude,
especially if it happens early in the game.
Yep, I hate it.
And you just like wander one of your dudes into just to be ambushed because you misclicked.
Yep. Dude, so many times that makes me crazy. That's one thing why JRPGs are really great. You can almost always undo what you did because you're usually selecting like what multiple characters are going to do. Not always, not in all of them, but you're going to be like, character A is going to do this, B is going to do this. Oh, no, that's not right. You can undo it because you have to click like, okay, I'm ready, go. right? That's what I love that when you can do that, but I hate it when you can't undo your action because I unfortunately misclick way too often.
Dude, that is one of these problems that I have been considering filing a bug report, but I can't tell if it's my own fault on Monster Sanctuary because it feels like this is weird because I feel like Xbox controller buttons are not like sensitive, right? Like you can't hold the A button down and it knows how hard you're holding it. But I swear I accidentally double click because you'll press A to select a move and then A to select who to do it to. I double click accidentally on almost every single battle, and I've been like trying to keep my thumb. Maybe I have like mild Parkinson's because I legit like I think my thumb is like I don't know if it's on me, if I'm twitchy, because I am super twitchy. Jackson will attest to this.
Yeah, you just need to chill out. You just need to calm down. You get, especially when you're playing video games, you get sweaty.
So nervous. Yeah, oh no, I hit A 3 times in a row. I don't know,
dude.
And then so loud.
Jackson lived with me. He knows how twitchy and so maybe it's just me. But accidentally double clicking a move when you're like, it will kill this monster if I do it on the right monster. If I do it on the wrong monster, that monster will kill me. And I do it on the wrong monster. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me?
Right. So I just want to clarify, your leave it right now is being you.
Dude, a perpetual leave it, honestly. Just being me. Just fucking could get rid of that. I could leave it.
It just felt like we were kind of like beating around the bush. We weren't really saying
what I wanted to get at is that, yeah, I'm sick of it being me. Okay, so on that lovely note, we have some reviews. We've had two different indie devs reach out to us. We had one reach out to us on Facebook, one reach out to us on our website, actually. Peterson, will you look up who sent us Gunpig? I want to get his name right. And I'll start with this other one. So one of the indies we got is called Nummels. And Nummels was sent to us from Nate Platt. And this is a game that will be at on the Steam Game Festival. So this is really cool that Nate keyed us into this because I was unaware of this, and you guys know I love indies and indie devs. The Steam Game Festival is this summer game festival where there's all sorts of things supporting developers. There's demos you can watch or play. There's live streams. There's chats with devs. It's basically an opportunity. It's like a digital GDC. It's an opportunity for devs to share their games or build their audiences. So Nate sent us his game that will be... Oh, I'm so sorry. The Steam Game Festival begins on June 16th, and it goes through June 22nd. So it starts next week. And it's June 16th to June 22nd. So that is the only time you will be able to play Nate's game. Nate's game is called Nummels. That is Nummels. And I got a chance to play a demo version of it, and you guys have to check this out. Like I just let me read the description to you because it got me from the beginning. Save these cute orange dinguses from themselves. Play as one of them, try not to be as dumb, and get them home safely. So it kind of feels like Lemmings, that old ass game. The idea is that you were playing as a Nummel. A Nummel essentially looks like a marshmallow?
Orange marshmallow.
Well, yeah, the ones that are trying to kill themselves are the orange ones. You're the white one. So you're just the reggae marshmallow, and the other ones are orange flavored or pumpkin flavored marshmallows. And it's essentially a puzzle game. It's kind of something that you would see probably on a phone, and it would be super fun on a phone. But it's awesome on a computer because I don't know, it's kind of fun to see this cute little world. It's a side-scrolling game. The Nummels that are suicidal are just like going in a single direction, and you're redirecting them, moving obstacles, trying to prevent them from dying. I don't know. I just think it's a really thoughtful game. It's an awesome indie game. They're just fun, quick puzzles. If you guys just like kind of just banging through a lot of fun puzzles that are just, I don't know, it was just satisfying. And then finally, I got to the end of the game. You guys are gonna love this. This is where I was like, all right, I got to talk about this. You get to the end of the game, and there is a death count of all the Nummels that died or Nummels that you killed, and they all have names.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
And so in the game, there's like one of the obstacles is a ladder, and you can like move the ladder around, and the Nummels will climb it or go down it. And you just go up this ladder, and my ladder was embarrassingly high. Let's just say that there were a lot of dead Nummels, because sometimes I would lose one Nummel and be like, meh, and just watch the rest of them die, which is kind of sad. Sometimes they explode, like, I don't know, like a depressing marshmallow would explode. But anyway, you guys should check out Nummels. You should definitely check out the Steam Game Festival. You can find them both starting June 16th. We will share a link to Nummels in our Discord, and you guys can go from there. And then our second indie game that I played is called Gunpig. And who sent this to us, Peterson?
His name is Neil Lapointe.
Neil Lapointe sent us Gunpig. And Gunpig is a twin-stick shooter where you play as a pig in a spaceship. It's kind of like a top-down. You're just kind of going around an open map, shooting objects that are coming at you, kind of like asteroids style. And it feels like an old arcade game. It feels like something you'd honestly plug a quarter in and play as many levels as you could without dying. It's so cool. There's these there's weapons. You can just swap out your weapon by going to like a weapon station, and then you can keep swapping and finding the one you want. All the weapons are really fun. There's some that like are bouncy projectiles that bounce around. There's some that like split. It's just kind of fun and inventive. Like I said, it's very arcadey, and if you guys are looking to support an indie dev, you can find it. It's on itch.io, which is interesting. So for me, this was a new thing, because I usually get all my games on like Steam and EGS, and like this, you actually got off of itch.io, and you just download the actual exe and then open it on your computer. It's $5, and I would say it's definitely worth $5 just for a quick. If you like those kind of arcadey shooters. It's called Gunpig, and we will also share a link to that in our Discord. So yeah, big thanks to these guys for sending us their games. If there's any other indie game devs out there, hit us up. I love checking these games out. I love playing them and giving feedback. I just love to be able to support you guys doing this. I think game development is so impressive and so cool, and it's like the dopest medium I think that artists can express themselves. So I'm always here to support anyone and everyone that is looking for it. So that's it. That's what I got.
Awesome. Yeah, cool, man. And thanks for sending those, guys. That's super cool. Thanks, guys.
Do you want to do Monster Train or Dice of Destiny? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll do Monster Train.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this is my review for a game I picked up on Steam called Monster Train. It was a game I wasn't even looking to... I didn't even know it existed. And I made the mistake of going through the Steam sales at the moment to see what was out there. And this game popped up. Yeah, I shouldn't have done it. I know better, and I did it anyway. So it's called Monster Train, and it is... what I would call a Spire-like. It's like Slay the Spire, and it is the first Spire-like that I really think is fantastic.
Because you've been on the lookout for a new one, haven't you?
Yes, I've played several mobile games. I've played a few on Steam. This one is the best outside of Slay the Spire that I've played by far, hands down. It was just released in May of this year. The reviews are already overwhelmingly positive on Steam. And what this is, and I guess how it differs from Slay the Spire is, first of all, the story of it is you are playing as Hell. So the monsters and demons of Hell. Hell has been taken over or essentially conquered by the angels. And you're the last bastion of hope, essentially. And what you have is you have a pyre that has the last like hellfire on it. And
this is awesome. Very wholesome.
Yes. And you are trying to you put it on your train, and you're trying to take it to the middle of hell so you can reignite hell, and beat back the waves of angels that are coming after you. As you go, there are 5 different factions you can play, and one thing is pretty cool. So they all play very differently. They all have different cards, different artifacts. It's similar to Slay the Spire like that. It's card. You've got 3 points, and your cards have a value and a cost, and you can play cards against that cost, as many as you want until you can't play anymore. You pick up artifacts along the way that give you buffs. But how it's different is that you can play 2 different factions of these demons at the same time, and they're very, very unique. They feel very different. They feel unique, which is fun. But you play a main faction that gives you like that faction's hero, and then you play a sub faction, and so you're usually finding weird combinations of the 2 that work together, and how the synergy between the cards of the factions and how it works. And they're very balanced. Which is hard to do in these like early games, in these card games where there's hundreds of different cards. It's hard to balance, and they've done a really great job of balancing them. So how the gameplay goes is you have your train, and each fight that starts, your train is 4 levels, and on the top level is your pyre, and you're trying to protect that. The angels enter your train on the right side, on the bottom level, and each round, any angels that are still alive move up a level, and at any time you can play your characters on any of the levels, right? So any angels you don't defeat on the first round, they'll move up to level 2, level 3 if they're still alive, and then level 4 and attack your pyre. And you're trying to keep the pyre lit. You're trying to keep it alive. You pick up money along the way that you can buff your cards with, spells and character cards, which are extremely helpful. And they already have like the level system. So if I win with one combination of monsters, and I play them again, it's harder the second time. And then if I win again, it's harder the third time. It like adds, it has a lot of those roguelike elements. You unlock cards as you go. So you're leveling up the factions, unlocking cards, unlocking artifacts. And there's tons of unlocks. I mean, probably about 100 so far that I can tell. It's really great. It's a really fun game. If you enjoy Slay the Spire, if you enjoy these turn-based card games, this is definitely one to check out, because I'm already let's see, I've had it for like 3 days, 2-3 days. I'm already, let me check real quick, 12 hours in.
Oh, wow.
And I can tell I'm going to put at least 100 hours into this game. I picked it up for $20 on Steam. It is a definite buy for me. You got to pick this up and play it.
So would you say it sounds it's not better than Slay the Spire, it's just something new and fresh that you're into? Are you, because it kind of sounds like you might think it's better.
I wouldn't say it's better. I'll say it could be better as they add more to it, and as they like keep developing, because Slay the Spire has the benefit of, a year at least of adding new content and development. And I'm not saying this is low on content, because it's definitely not. It's just different enough to keep me interested, because I have played 363 hours of Slay the Spire, and I still play it. If I'm on a meeting at work where I just have to listen in, I don't have to talk, I'll boot up Slay the Spire and I can kind of play it passively because I've played it so much. This is just something new, right? If you've played 300 hours of Slay the Spire, pick up Monster Train, and it's new, right? New is always good. So I wouldn't say it's better, and I wouldn't say it's worse.
Did
It's
you put
just
it on?
different.
Did you say you picked it up on sale?
Yes, I did pick it up on sale.
How much was it?
$20.
Oh, so it's 25 normally. So it was just a little sale.
Yep, it's because
I put it on my wish list. Yeah, I wanna pick it up, but I don't think I'm gonna do $20 on it.
Yeah, it's one of those games
just like with Slay the
sale.
Spire. I played Slay the Spire on my PC for about 5 hours or 10 hours and was like, nope, I am not investing in this until they put it on the Switch. And then once it was on Switch, I played it like an obscene amount. Yep. So this is another one. I'm like, I want you on my phone or I want you on the Switch, and I don't want to spend $20 to be tied to my computer. Anyway, dude, so it's def a buy at any price for you, though?
Absolutely. It's a great game. If you like those, play it for sure.
Okay, so that just means we've got the
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice of Destiny is our fun little game that we play at the end of every episode. We take a 20-sided dice, we assign 20 different game genres on it, then we roll that, then we roll a 6-sided dice to see how much money you can spend on that. And then finally, we roll a dice to see who has to find a game for that price, pick it, play it, review it. And last week, Peterson selected for his game The Last of Us.
Yeah, so actually, you kind of helped me select it because I had so many I didn't know which one I wanted to do. And you said, play The Last of Us, and it's been a good pick. I'm probably only 5 or 6 hours into it. This is a game that I can't play 3 hours at a time. I play an hour, 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay, I need to take a break.
Yeah, and you can't play it around your kids. So you have a very narrow window where you can play this game.
Essentially, I moved the PlayStation into my bedroom, and I play it at night when I'm going to bed, which is maybe a bad idea, but that's what I do.
I played some dark games, and this game kind of like eroded my soul a little bit. Like the HBO miniseries that everyone's really stoked on, I'm like, I don't know if I can watch that. Like, it is bleak.
Yes,
even
absolutely.
for a zombie post-apocalyptic game, it's like pretty bad.
I am in.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but it feels so far. I mean, I'm in the first act, and I think I'm moving along pretty well. But it doesn't feel good, but it feels intriguing.
So I vetoed you reviewing it this week because I think at 5 to 6 hours, anyone who's played Last of Us knows you're not far enough in to make a good call on how you feel about the game. And so here's my question. Do you want to re-roll now and then next week we'll have someone give a selection and you can review it, or do you want to just bump it a week?
Let's just bump it a week.
Okay, because I want to hear your review, but I don't want you to erode your soul too quickly.
I want, but let me document.
I do. I want that.
Jackson wants me to have no soul immediately. Is that what you're saying?
And send text updates of how it feels.
Just set up like a 24/7 cam so I can just watch you playing the game.
I'll take
it's like
I'll take a
it's
selfie
like the Face of
right
Meth
when I
campaign.
start playing it, and then I'll take a selfie at the end.
Yes, like those Faces of Meth.
Yes,
where it's
exactly.
like, this is how Peterson looked before he started smoking The Last of Us, and this is how sunken his eyes are now.
So yeah, I do want to document, though, really quickly, publicly document my one major impression so far that I told JD and he thought was interesting. I do not like Ellie. She's been with me for a couple hours now in the game. Not a fan. Every time
Tell us who
talks,
Ellie is.
Ellie is a girl. So you play as Joel. Joel is an adult who he's a little bit older. I'd say in his late 40s, early 50s, maybe.
Or just a little younger than you.
he's about a decade younger than me.
Peterson's age.
Yeah, he's a young buck. He feels pretty spry. And you have taken on a mission, essentially taken on a job to transport this girl over to this faction that exists in the game, kind of a rebel faction, because she is supposedly the one who carries the cure to the outbreak, right? And so Ellie is 14, I think, and she feels like a 14-year-old girl. I can't stand it every time she talks. She's annoying. She's trying to be like cool, or like, I want you to think I'm mature type of thing, which I get enough with my 12-year-old. So, man, not feeling the Ellie vibes so far. So I'm interested to see if that changes by the end of the game.
I am actually super interested too, because I was surprised, not because I was like, oh, I was very fond of Ellie, but because I didn't have a super strong opinion about her that early in the game.
Oh, right away.
Like, yeah, that is interesting.
She's like talking back to that guy you find, that guy you group up with, and he helps you fix the car. She's like, won't stop talking back to him. You're like, dude, just shut up, kid. That's how it feels. That's how my life feels. I have to tell my kids to be quiet all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so I can empathize with that. I do want to hear more, because their relationship, Joel and Ellie's relationship, is like the centerpiece of the story. So yeah, I'm intrigued, but I definitely want you to get like at least to the third act, because that's when you think it's dark now. Just wait, dude. It's like the third season of season 8 of Game of Thrones. It is very, very dark.
Really looking forward to it.
All right. So on that note, that's it. That's it. To play us out, Peterson's got some music from The Last of Us, which actually had an incredible soundtrack. It was Gustavo Santaolalla. Oh, what was his name? Anyway, he's back he did the second one too. He's done some really great. He's scored some great films and some great games. Guys, we will be posting links to those games we chatted about and the Steam Game Festival on our Discord and social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. And we're also on Patreon at patreon.com/3pg. All right. I'm JD logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
And this is Squatch.
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.